Nothing.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hold on. Freshy fresh with the one gifted. Thank you. That is beautiful,
Freshy
sir.
fresh.
That is beautiful. I'm update that here in a second. Thank you. Let's go and get through this real quick.
Look, Rastov, should we just have the meeting with Nightmare on air?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not.
Michelangelo, you've been terminated.
He's confirmed. He has confirmed. It's just a waiting day. I can hold fire till then. I know.
But we figured since they were live and Glammy and CD-ROM are having a pretty uneventful show, we'd make it eventful.
Okay.
Thank you.
So how are things with Michelangelo?
Can I be honest with you?
Yes, of course.
Financially terrible.
Financially terrible.
Oh.
Okay. Let's look at
this is the worst week we've had since March.
Oh my God, Test is in last place.
Yeah.
Yep. So
damn, that's
yes,
rough.
It is, right? So the big thing there, let me go ahead and kill this real quick. I also need to figure that out. I don't know why everything just went to shit. I went to fucking I came home, fuck you. Everything just said fuck you to me. I don't like that. I do not like that. That is just out and out terrible. Out terrible.
You need to do some research and see why the sharing is making it lag so bad. Because whenever I watch the video, it's not lagging, but I see on the stream it is. So I don't know why. I don't know what causes that.
Mono with the one gifted. Thank you so much, Mono. That's our newest crown.
Thank you. He's the one who did this to me.
Yep.
Mono is the one who did this to me.
Straight up. Yeah. Thank you, Mono. We appreciate you, bro.
Mono.
Also, Mono, my portion of the crown is going to be done after the stream.
Oh yeah. So you're doing it right after?
I will be scheduling not scheduling. I'll put a time next. I'm probably going to finish at about 12:30. So I'm thinking probably about 1 o'clock, 1:30. Okay. Y'all will see it. I'll put an announcement. I'll make sure everyone knows.
You need some time for people. Yeah, you need some time for people to get hype and ready, and for you to mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually prepare yourself for this experience.
I'm Bigfoot. I ain't worried about it.
We'll see.
I just need to prepare my wife, so if I start screaming hysterically, she doesn't run in here.
Right? She's like, "Oh my God, babe, are you okay?"
Straight up.
Like,
nah, fuck, shit, slap me in the face. You know?
Do I look like I'm okay?
Straight up. All right, so again, they go in there this morning. Keem's out what's going on. Nightmare basically said it's terrible. This is probably one of their worst weeks. And yes, if you look at where Test has been, where they're at right now, dead last.
Damn, that's unfortunate.
Connor Grimm is probably not coming back. He may be able to work himself back at some point. I don't know, but that's totally up to Keem.
Yeah, I mean, Twiggy was able to, so maybe maybe Grimm.
It was the weekend. So yeah, not lolcowlive. The LCU had their weekend stream. For the most part, it was meh. Not necessarily a bad thing for the most part. On my end, it's pretty easy because I could go through these streams and not have to worry about missing certain dramas. More like, I could take it easy. It's why I usually don't release their weekend stuff as they happen. Mostly because I'm not in a rush. Maybe besides Friday where I was kind of lazy, but to be fair, I cover these guys every single day. I do deserve at least a day or two off every so often. But with Cafe, they more or less cover a bunch of drama and playing out their stream, because they did have another stream later on the day, which is good on them, which is very relaxing. I didn't really wake up till pretty late into the day, both for Saturday and Sunday, so when I finally caught up with everything, I was just I was hoping it was going to be a relaxing Saturday and Sunday streams. Sort of, not really. A lot of it was kind of boring with some drama sprinkled in. We'll get into it when we get into it.
Anyway, it's so weird to see your face, because I've always wondered, how do you look? And we've been, I've known you since January. I've been speaking to you since
the beginning of time. Yeah, pretty much since the beginning of time, my friend.
And only now I've seen your face.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Well, I wanted to be anonymous for a while, but fuck it, we've come to this, so here we are. I'm here. Let's go, baby.
What the fuck? You need the introductions out the way. Ram! Jesus, Huge Ass, you beautiful bastard. The ultimate vow.
He's a beautiful bastard. He really is.
Yes. No, there's a couple of
things. He's a beautiful bastard in this whole universe.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. There's a couple of things we haven't played today, right, guys? Because we need to get a redemption arc. Now, before I start this clock, there's a couple of goals we have in the background. Big goals. Some are monthly. One's a month one. And once, hopefully as fast as we can get it taken down, the faster we can get the next one. An upcoming event you guys know about is the 7 deadly states. There's a goal towards this, and that's what we're trying to achieve today.
Yes.
And the first goal is investigating the Everglades.
Armykins super chatted $19.99. Let's go donut.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. I really do. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
We made the $50 thing to extend the stream for a second. I'm going to reveal some of the others. So, the other goal we have, as you know, is Nightmare Invades the Everglades. However, if all goes to plan, it won't just be me. It'll be this motherfucker right next to me.
Oh my fucking god. We will cause fucking carnage. We will destroy. We will hopefully not get arrested. I'm sure we won't. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, guys. But it'll be fucking a blast. It'll be a blast without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure. I'm certain of it.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
So that's a goal we got to update. And then there's another goal. Now, Josh, you heckled me about something. A lot of things. But
One Hardy just gifted one to our testies.
If you want, Hardy, you beautiful bastard, the Alcon Vow. You heckled me about something in particular.
I know. You want to know what this cunt calls a washing machine? He calls it a fucking clothes spinner. He is a Welsh bastard, everyone. He calls it a clothes spinner. A fucking clothes spinner. He's been doing it all week. I'm just putting this in a clothes spinner. He's just not how to use it this week. He's trying really hard.
Mono with a 5.
He'll be alright. He'll be alright. He'll get used to it soon.
I hate you already.
Thank you, Mono.
So Mono with the 5 says, shout
Mono.
out Josh, W
Love you,
Mod, and W Choice of Host, the Alcon Vow. And everyone Hardy with the one gifted, the Alcon Vow. And then Lolcow Cafe got the gift. I thought they couldn't get gifted. That's crazy.
Steffers is now a banned world. Cross mark emoji. Steffers celebrates 1 month of membership. Glad to see you moving forward, KM. All the luck and love. Also, who's this guy and where is he from?
Well, we'll get to the introductions now, because I do want to...
Who is this guy, man? Who is this fucker?
But you did press me about one thing, and I've been thinking about it.
Oh, go on.
Tiffany Honan just gifted one to our testes.
I'm not ready, apparently. I'm not ready.
Okay, so you pressed me the other week, funny enough, doing a long stream, about the fact that I am afraid of heights. And how I wouldn't...
You fucking are! And I fucking pressured you for about 45 fucking minutes, and every fucking minute you were going, I'm not doing it! I'm not doing it! You can't make me! You know what, bro?
_large celebrates 2 months of membership. It's going to be a legendary stream. Chatted $20. Welcome back, testes.
The Alcon huge ass, appreciate it. 20. So I was thinking about it. I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I am fucking being a bit of a fucking pussy. Maybe I am being a pussy about it. But like, we did have a deal that if someone gave me 20,000, I would do it, right? And then they didn't. Also, Mayhem with the £2. Wonder if the curse will continue. No curse. So I thought, well, okay, 20,000 seems really unrealistic to hit in a month. Okay. So what about half the amount? Which leads us to the goal. Right above.
Wait. So you're giving it a month this time? Hold on. Last time you're like, oh, I'm not doing it. Unless they got 20 grand.
Yeah, I know.
But now you fucking grown some balls. You're giving them the whole month. Fair enough.
Lucifer, I appreciate you. Thank you. The 7 deadly states, it only makes it I have to do it that way.
You're going to jump out of the plane at the end, right? You're going to jump out of the plane at
If
the
we
end,
hit
right?
this goal by the end of the month, I will jump out of a fucking plane.
You fucking better.
Okay.
I want you out of the fucking plane. I do. I want you out of the fucking...
So, Tess may be getting a new co-host, or really Nightmare is getting a new co-host. It's kind of funny because this reminds me of Nerds. I want to make a bit of a parallel between Tess and Nerds real fast. If you don't remember, Nerd had a whole different crew. They had Leppy, Pharaoh, and Glammy. Within, I believe, like a day or two, Leppy got fired and got replaced by Eric. And then, literally not even right after that, Zay kind of got involved. Glammy, quote-unquote, got betrayed. Then Zay, Glammy, and Pharaoh and Eric all stuck together. Eventually, Pharaoh left. And then eventually both Eric and Glammy got fired, and when both we replaced them, and now Nerds is where it's at. Same thing happened with Tess, but Tess was originally court, and Ken was supposed to run court. And then after that failed. Literally one stream, 40 minutes long, it failed miserably. With no offense to Ken, I think what it was is that it was a good idea not that it was, well, whether or not it was a good idea in practice or not practice, in theory or in paper, and then because we've seen core sort of work before in live, I think what it was is they should have done a video explaining the actual setup and then do the stream right after. I felt like it could have worked. I felt like it was just rush, and that they didn't do enough test stream to make it work out. Right, and then eventually the court became Tess, and Grim ran Tess. Now Grim isn't here. Now we have Nightmare, who is now the head of the operation. It's just a little interesting that how there's a lot of parallel between a lot of these shows and these situations. Sort of similar with Milkers, where Milkers is in the same boat of you had Savage, Glammy, Psycho Mom. Well, Glammy got replaced by Roxy. Then Psycho Mom got fired, and then Savage got fired. Now it's Roxy and Becky. It's just a parallel that I'm seeing a lot. And I'm not sure is that a good thing or a bad thing. And I think I'll let that be up to the individual viewers and the people who support the channels. No matter what, you need to have change. And sometimes it happens because of people's idiocracy. Or just whatever. And with Joss maybe potentially being a co-host, I can see it working. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really did enjoy this stream quite a bit. Joss gave me Total Biscuit vibes. I don't know why. He has a very booming British voice. I'm pretty sure he's British unless he's Australian or something else. But he just reminds me of like Total Biscuit. A lot of those like people. Maybe I'm wrong. Or even like Archhammer. I think that's the guy's name. The guy who does Warhammer, and then he became friends with Sargon or Khan. He kind of gives me that kind of vibe, and I think that's a good thing for Tess. Let's move on.
Brantley said in the group chat, if you don't want to stream Pup, then Beans and Sweet Tea can if they want. She starts going off in the group chat. But let me go to the part.
Doing a stream?
Huh?
Is she mad that we're still doing a stream?
She was, I don't know what made her upset at that statement. But she was like, okay, what are y'all's thoughts on not doing a weekend stream this week, moving, steamy Saturday? She's like doing like all these moving and like scheduling type things. All Brantley said is, if you don't want to stream, Sweet Tea and Beans can do it. You can go and do your own thing.
Thank you.
Exactly. Just say thank you and leave, right? But she starts going off and she's like, it's not that I don't want to stream. We just don't have real content or activities planned. Girl, what do you mean? Our docket team put topics that we could talk about. They put a whole ass quiz that we could have done of intimate subjects, right? They have Never Have I Ever with intimate questions. There was content there. Plus, you never shut the fuck up, so you could have taken up more than 2 hours with all the stuff you would have talked about. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, true. I mean, half the shows just like can talk about whatever they want, especially on the weekends, right?
Exactly. Plus, we don't have to go 2 hours. The weekend is a free-for-all. Free for us to do whatever we want, right? So she goes, we just don't have real content or activities planned. Plus, that's another thing. It feels so disrespectful that we have volunteers taking time out of their day to make us a docket, and you're basically spitting in their face saying that it's not real content, that it's not real activities.
Oh, God.
So it seems like we're grasping at filler straws. We're going to have filler. She barely goes into the docket, so I don't even know what she's talking about. But she's saying we're grasping at filler straws. You understand that we stream every single day, except like on Sundays, or at least that's what I personally like to do. I just don't like to stream on Sundays because in Dominican culture, we value Sundays and it's a religion thing and blah, blah, blah. But we're going to have filler episodes. Not every episode is going to be a banger. Not every episode is going to have like real life drama that we can talk about, right? So she also says, don't appreciate at Beans. So she pings me, DMing you, she's talking to Brantley, DMing you as if it's a secret or lack of interest.
What's that
Where?
supposed to mean?
Where? Bitch, where is the disrespect? Because I'm messaging our manager. I'm messaging our manager just saying, hey, what should we do going forward? And you think that I'm going behind your back doing shit? No, I am letting her know what is going on. Yeah, maybe I'm a little bit frustrated, but I'm not trying to slight you in any sort of way. I'm doing my job. The job that I've been doing 99% of, and the 1% that you do is show up.
Sure, you do a lot.
Bro, and then, like, I didn't even see that message. I was just, like, texting her like normal. Oh my God, I lost it. Now I have to scroll all the way. Still not there. I have to scroll all the way. This is mostly her, by the way.
Now. Good Lord have mercy.
Good Lord have mercy. Exactly.
I can't believe I missed all that.
Girl.
Was looking at like I had my phone on me and was looking at everything y'all said, and this I missed.
No, and then the other thing, we're a team, right? It's me, you, Pupstar. We're in this together. It doesn't matter if you've been here a day, a week, a month, no matter. You're still part of the team now. So we have to have your input. I pinged you and I said, Sweet Tea, what do you think? We don't want to make any decisions without everybody having a say. And then she replies to me. Somebody's saying that your audio is low, so let me turn you up all the way. She replies to me saying that, just trying to get your input. She says, Beans, relax. If you want to stream today, we can stream today. Let's just have a plan. The world isn't ending, and I agree, Sweet Tea, and Brantley should and do have involvement. So what's the problem? What's the problem? You tell me what's the problem. Because I'm just getting Sweet Tea's opinion. Because you're not only wasting my time by all of a sudden trying to throw everything away, you're wasting Sweet Tea's time. You're wasting the docket team's time. You're wasting the guy that does my thumbnails time. You're wasting everybody's time. But the only person you can think about in this moment is you. And your
she like
feelings.
said that.
Now, on the opposite end, well, not really opposite end, but on the opposite side of Tess doing their little streamy stream, because as this was going on in Tess, Dolls was going on, and then later on, Rewind would happen, and then Ozzy. We'll get into that when we get into that. Dolls did their stream. It was mostly them focusing on the drama between really Beans, Sweetie, and Popstar. The correlations of, as I said before, with the previous clip in response, is that Popstar is very much more similar to Becky. And this won't be the only time I say this, but it's also to make it clear, given Popstar, it's so young, yet she's also heavily influenced by the current internet. Really, in my opinion, makes her more and more suited. Also, before I move forward, Popstar and Beans are much more closer to age, which I think is important. Because the way they both act with each other in later clips and people respond to it, it's just kind of hilarious. Because, like, it's like Popstar is treating Beans like she's more of like a late millennial, like someone of my age who's 28. Reality, Beans, I think, is only like 22, 23, 24. She is closer to, in my honest opinion, Beans is much more closer to Popstar, both like in just mindset and everything. Yet they're very different, and I think it just has to do with the way they were brought up and raised, but also their approach on the internet, as we're seeing. I feel like Popstar is very much going to be Becky. Right, I think Popstar is going to be just more like Becky, where we're going to see a lot of controversy. We're going to see a lot of people flocking, because when we look at Queens and Milker's number, their numbers are kind of are going a little down. They do have their support base, but I think Dolls is doing what Queens and Milkers were kind of originally meant to do. Well, Milkers was meant to milk the LCU. It was still kind of very much focused on a women audience, and Queens was very much meant to be the female version of Live. And I think Dolls may eventually supersede that, because Dolls' numbers are kind of getting up there. And recently, what I heard that I think the next clip in Rewind, I think Keemstar mentioned that Dolls more or less outperform Tess, even though like Dolls hasn't been around that long. I think it's just due to a number of things, mostly because of Grimm not being there. I think it's just funny. I should think this is all just funny. Well, this won't be the end of our discussion about Popstar, though.
Whatever, reminds me of myself as well. But to adults, like to grown-ups, she's a fucking idiot, right? To me and you, she's a fucking idiot. But that's only because she's 19.
Exactly. So really, deep down inside, I really like Popstar, because I'm gonna be honest. If I was 19, like if you took how I was at 19 and you threw me in a situation like this, I can't help but to think I would have been the same way.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's not that interesting to me. Brantley, she manages Dolls, so she's all into it. I'm just like, this shit's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I left the Dolls group chat because within 1 hour there were 130 messages. I was
my God. It's a bunch of women typing. What do you think was going to happen? That's what happens when you have a bunch of hens in the hen house. Just saying. Oh, what do you think about Josh on Tess?
No,
don't go No. Josh would be amazing on Tess, and let me tell you why. One, he is the closest thing I ever heard to Colossal was crazy, which means great voice. Two, he would not take nightmare shit. So the dynamic between the two, once they got comfortable with each other, is going to be fucking amazing.
Beans and Sweet Tea outperformed them as far as new members.
Yeah, but she had dirt on Pup, so obviously.
Gwen, thank you. Nicely done, Billy. Impressive. And then there's this user, Brantley Keem, says, I'm drink too. I means drunk. Cheers. I'll drunk to that.
I love Brantley. Brantley's my baby. I've loved her since the day I met her. I fucking love Brantley.
She's retarded.
She's your retarded. You love her and going to spend the rest of your life with her, so get used to it.
I was watching her reaction because there's a delay in stream, and she just started laughing hysterically.
I love Brantley. You picked a good one, Keemstar.
So,
I loved her since the day I met her in person.
This last
I
week,
didn't pick her. She groomed me. Thank you very much.
She did, actually.
You got cornered. This last week's been kind of crazy, but today's been kind of chill. Are you able to just drink in peace?
Not really. The pup star shit started invading me. And then this morning on my day off, I decided I'm going to go fix test and I'm going to figure out whether or not Zeta Ray should go on there or CD-ROM or whoever, right? And Gutsu Watsu, we had all these options. And Nightmare was like, no, it has to be Josh. It has to be Josh. And I'm like, we talked about this a week ago. Josh hasn't even called into a fucking show. So me and Rastov went off on Nightmare how Josh isn't trying. So they did a whole show today. I don't know if it was good. All I know is Beans beat them in memberships.
Okay, well, I'm telling you now, Josh should be on test. Gutsu Watsu is way too try-hardy, and quite frankly, he shouldn't even be on the Discord because he needs to go and get a therapist and touch grass. Okay?
We are his therapist.
If we're his therapist, then he's fucking doomed. Let's be honest. We are not capable of handling mental disabilities.
I think we should put a camera on him and extra lights.
I think you're wrong.
Can Gutsu Watsu can he be his own 24-hour B channel? You said you wanted a second channel. Can it just be Gutsu Watsu in his room 24 hours with a camera pointed at him? And he's watching the main channel and it's his reactions to the main shows?
You know, Glammy has been obsessed with bringing the gaming channel back. And to be honest, I had to give her like 100 new members this morning. That was all me. So maybe Gutsu Watsu on the gaming channel?
Yeah, do that. There you go. I think that would be a good idea. Actually, make another purgatory, aka lolcow gaming. Maybe put Gutsu Watsu up there.
Rastov's.
Now here we have the rewind guides kind of talking about this. Later on, most of the stream, they were just talking about a bunch of stuff, going back to the same topic. Eventually, Xylee took a little nappy towards the end of the stream in her little chair. Baby Xylee needs her nappy nap. Enough of my cringy humor sense of take. Even though I'm going into this with a very flat, monotone, urban voice. I'm gonna keep extending the last syllable, the last words. Like Becky, where she says every time she ends her sentence or her words, which is very annoying. Okay, but no, serious. They just kind of went over the same stuff I was talking about within the doll section. I think it was just keep kind of just going into a little bit more on top of that. I would say, mind you, though, I think even with that, and again, this won't be the last time we discuss about dolls. I just think in dolls, how can I say it? If Pupstar is here for the long run, expect there to be a lot of drama, but very dry and very stale, yet still it's not entertaining, yet you're going to be glued to your chair because what's there to watch, where Queens and Milkers kind of ran through their drama and milked it dry for now. Eventually, I think dolls, it's just gonna supersede both Queens and Milkers. And I think it has to do with Pupstar being and Sweet Tea being young and more vibrant, in theory. Even though, like, Bean is sort of like a school librarian or, assistant principal. Sweet Tea is your stereotypic Appalachian, and obviously Pupstar is your stereotypic independent black girl who needs no man. She's going to college to be a doctor in science. If you know what I'm referring to by saying those kind of stereotypic terms or saying that stereotypic stuff, then you know where this is going to head, where it's going to be a kaleidoscope of just people fighting and words being thrown around and a whole lot of like, God, please, it's kind of cringe and bad, but you can't because it's this bunch of young women fighting it out. If you've never seen what a fight is, if you've never seen women fight in real life, this is what it feels like. and I can't wait for the day where they have to meet each other face to face because it may end in a cat fight. Maybe, I don't know.
That's fucking awesome. That is beautiful.
Oh my god, I love it.
Beans is a Disney queen. That's actually a very good drawing, or whatever that was. That's actually really good.
I like it. She's giving like Snow White vibes with the whole outfit and everything.
Yeah. I think
Jose keeping the stream key, from Buff.
That's so fucked up. And then the Roxy shit with Jaws. That is fucking beautiful, bro.
I need that on a shirt.
Sonic moving fast. That is great.
Oh my god.
I love this too, Tina. Like this, like a puppet.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
I love it.
That is awesome. And then right here, Tina, The Simpsons.
Oh my gosh, there's Angry Grandpa.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome too. The old Minecraft Becky. Rewind fan art.
Yes, Billy.
There's a lot of fan art. Damn. Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh yes.
That is awesome.
People are cooking.
Yeah, they are. The Bulldozer.
The Bulldozer. Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about the Killdozer today because no one's talking about that.
Yeah, I know. When I was on Rewind and he was mentioning Killdozer, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then it wasn't until he started going into the story that I realized what story he was telling. I was like, oh yeah, I've heard this shit.
Oh yeah, Killdozer's wild, bro.
Yeah.
That is wild. All right, let's keep going. Seth looks. That is beautiful. The question is, who wears slippers like this?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Probably Becky.
Probably. You got Zolly the donut. Aussie fan art.
Oh
Fucking
God.
Twiggy.
That's like an anime character.
Straight up. And then the
That's
Twiggy
amazing.
again with that, yeah. And then breaking nudes made with Mimetic. I have no idea what that means. And then test fan art. That is bad. I like that a lot. That is so badass.
I like it too.
That's really
yes. It reminds me of like Cuphead art style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The 40s. I hated that game.
You're like, fuck Cuphead.
Yep. We got CD-ROM. Arf. Got Watsu's new profile pic. That is badass. I ain't gonna lie. Then we got the Joker again.
I love this.
Leave me alone.
Oh, like the leave Brittany alone.
That
Oh
fucking
my god.
shit.
You know what? Oh, you know what? I love Gutsu. He's my homie. Don't get me wrong. But it made me think of when he was popping off and everything and crashing out. It reminded me of the original Willy Wonka. You know, like whenever he's like at the end and he's like, hey, sir. And he's like all fucking pissed.
That's fucking great.
Am I wrong?
That is
Am I wrong?
amazing. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I know what you're talking about. There's one
He
more.
literally looks like Gene. What's his name?
Gene Wilder. Gene Wilder,
Yeah.
We forgot
It's
one
just
more.
hilarious.
So this is a cult Keem you drew. Praise be to Keem. This is literally about what you were drawing. Literally.
Oh yeah.
Later on the night, at Rewind Game Tours and then, Cafe had their stream going on, a night stream, which is very rare because they don't really do this often, and they were just having a good time talking about the usual stuff. Which is good on them, good on them. I feel like when they do the weekday stream, and this isn't really particularly towards Cafe, but this is a general thing towards just all the shows, is that compared to their weekday, their weekend streams are a lot more chill and a lot more laid back because I think there's less of a restriction they have to deal with. What I mean by that is, you know, when you do the weekday stream, there's a certain protocol, there's a certain thing you need to follow, and that mostly is the drama of the week. Whereas like the weekend, they don't have to really worry about it, and they can just take it easy when they want. But we'll have to wait and see.
That when I was fired from Aussie, I was bald.
Oh, okay. You're defending
That's all you really need to know there. And I wasn't going to say anything to clarify it on stream at the time because I thought it was funny.
Thank you for the 5 Australian powerage, digging the content, gents. And Mono, welcome to Band World. Mono, good to see you, brother.
If you don't know who Mono is and the lore behind Mono, Mono is the most banned member from the whole community. Pretty nice. Let's get back into this.
Go from being one of the most talked about people on the internet in a negative way to seeing him come out on top. It inspired me. And I thought that I would be able to go from being Keem's most annoying member to genuinely being my role model or my mentor.
It's true.
And I thought that he was going to build a YouTube career for me. I thought by this time next year that I was going to be a
Sorry. All right, let me let it play.
multi-millionaire YouTuber.
I was going to move to Guam.
You told my wife you ain't going to be a lumberjack no more.
I was going to move to Guam, bro. Start a new life.
That's a good way to go. I like Guam.
Yeah, dude. Like when I got my
Arabian chicks
millions,
are baddies, bro.
when I got my millions from working for Keem, bro, last year, it's kind of funny how things work because I was making jokes about how I was going to work my way up to a show when that was like something they'd never talked about was expanding. And I was put on a show almost a year later, so it's kind of funny.
And I don't even know how to break the news to her.
Don't even know how to break the news to my wife.
That Keem had officially hired me, and that he was paying me $1,000 a month just
That wasn't true. I was
Still
getting
giving
paid
him
anything.
ideas. And now she's gonna know I'm a liar. She'll probably leave me.
Well, they don't even know the layers they chant. Yeah.
I'm sure she knew she was a liar.
I love it. There's nothing better to me when people fall for the bait that I put out there. But I never expected somebody to react to the bait a year after I put it out there.
Mono said I just came here to say bring up Jethro. Is Jethro in waiting? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's been
there. Hey, Jethro, welcome to lolcow Aussie. Brugs with the 5 Australian. Twiggy be like, I didn't save that baby from that burning fire building because I thought it was funny.
Okay, well, to be fair, all right, the baby's name was Octavius Driven, okay? Very unique name. I wanted to see that name in the articles. That's all.
What's up,
Jethro, you're
Jethro?
looking very beautiful tonight.
How are you doing?
Good.
So honestly, had 2 separate streams. They did one stream on Saturday. They did one on Sunday. This one was around 6 hours. The other one was like a couple hours, like 3 hours offhand, if I remember. Wasn't bad. I didn't really watch much of it because I feel like the weekend and I was pretty busy. So whatever I caught is whatever I caught. They were just kind of going over through some stuff related to Fat Camp and the usual stuff with Twiggy, which I would say, much as I'm not the biggest Twiggy fan, I'm willing to admit, hey, him and Steak worked pretty well. They really know how to balance, not really balance each other off, but they know how to balance each other off pretty well. So if anything, I give him that much.
Oh, I gotta say, I kind of fucks with a new intro. What does the yellow emoji say, new Sue? It says, don't mess with test. Listen, yeah, you beautiful bastards. Today I'm coming at you with something a little bit different. Let me roll into the solo studio podcast. Boom! How are we all doing? You beautiful bastards, you. Look, I want to know your opinions on yesterday, on if you enjoy Josh as a potential co-host. I want some W's in the fucking chat if you like them, if you think he should be on board, or some L's if you think he shouldn't. I personally think he's a Dubsky in my opinion, but I want to know your guys' opinions. But this stream today is a little extra something for you guys because I wanted to give back because we've missed out on a lot of opportunities this week to really bring in some fucking fun and engagement. So that's why we had to make up this weekend because I only have Monday and Tuesday on the rota to do a stream, and then I'm away for the week. I'm gonna try and stream during the week, but I don't know the possibilities because the 5G might be a little bit shit because of everything that's going on. But I'm seeing a wave of W's, which means you enjoyed it, which is great. We're on the same fucking page. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. What's a Dubsky? A Dubsky is basically getting a W, a win, getting that reward. Prananda, Chubsy, it's good to see you. The lighting is sick. I'm thinking of getting something like that from my place. I mean, dude, if you want something like this, it's only a $3 million studio, you know what I mean? But you can get one. All it takes is one Becky hoodie, which she should have now, actually, as well, unless she's being quiet about it. But she should have by now. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about some stuff. Living over the week and everything, because we didn't really get a chance to do that because everything was yesterday and we had to get Josh showcased because we had so much pressure on us. I think we got the W. I think we proved our fucking point. But today I wanted to go over some things that happened this week, what you can expect from the rest of the month of test, and what we're going to be doing for the future, which a lot of people are upset about me talking about. They don't like us talking about the future because they think that we're not going to get that W. They think that we're going to let people down. And I understand. There's been a lot of letdowns happening recently. And I get that. That's shit. But I want to prove that we're not going to do that. You know? I think we can absolutely smash it. Because at the end of the day, everything we're doing is vlog related anyway, because it's all recorded. So I haven't got to worry about the Wi-Fi. I got all the sound equipment I need, the great microphones, you know? I got fucking a great camera. I got all the great equipment. I got all the fucking charging battery packs, backup batteries. I got 6 camera batteries with me. You know, just to really ice down the efforts that we put into the investment that, I put into to making sure these things happen. And to really solidify the fact that if you don't enjoy it, that's because you didn't enjoy the idea. Especially with what I'm doing. Because what I'm planning on doing and what I'm doing next week, because next week's where the action commences. That's where we can finally be okay, they're either fucking right or they're wrong. After next week, if you don't enjoy it, then maybe it's not for you. I don't know.
So here, this is for Sunday, my bad. Test went on again. They only went on for 3 hours, I believe. It wasn't as bad. 4 hours. It wasn't that long. They went up all the way till Nerd and TikTok had a joint stream. I'll get to that when we get into that. Tess was basically, or really Nightmare was kind of outlining what he wants to do, why he wants Joss into the, part of Tess. In the direction Tess is going to be going. He's still planning to do the 7 deadly state sin, or the sins of state. I don't know. I forgot how he pronounced it or how he said it, something like that. Hey, give him prop, give him more credit. If anything, I think it's, in my honest opinion, pretty entertaining. What he wants to do, the goals he wants to do, face his own fear. Like, I think it's pretty good on him. Moving on.
Shit, it was a whole thing.
Yeah, to be fair, I think that she should have understood that Brantley was there to help. Like, Brantley's done nothing but try to help them. I don't understand why she's coming at it with the eyes of, you're not helping. You know what I mean? Or taking it personally. That part I don't understand.
From what I gather, Pup feels very attacked right now. She feels like everybody in the LCU hates her. So she's coming at it from the lens of anytime somebody's giving her, like, criticism, it's like, well, everybody hates me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
I can understand that. What?
My hoodie's here! Yay!
Yes, Buff just got his too. Yeah, go get yours. You guys can twin it out.
Here you go, CD. Good job. Did you get a tech one?
Yeah, of course I did.
Okay, show it off for the people, and then I guess we'll do a store plug for both stores here. I'll plug both stores. I'll go to pull up.
I know mine's the nerds one. So.
Yep, mine's tech.
That's
I need a tech one. I have to go get a tech one. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's perfect. We have the nerds hoodies and we have the tech hoodies here to show. Okay.
Yep.
So first things first, we'll show off the lolcownerds merch store. We got the hot dog gang tee. We have the signature hoodie that we got both Buff and Glammy wearing one. We got the signature tee, and we got this Weeb Army beanie, the first beanie in the lolcow store. And then
oh, how these sleeves are tight.
The tech talk store. We got the CD-ROM blood shirt. I low-key think this is so cute for design. We got the Tech Talk logo.
Funny, isn't it?
I love you guys' logo. They have really cool merch, guys. Make sure you go check them out.
I like your guys' too.
Tower Glammy shirt incoming.
We're getting a revamp. Our logo's getting a total revamp. I don't know if you guys heard.
Oh, really?
Lightning Sparrow, send me pictures when you get your hat. I got mine and I can't wait for it to get here. Oh my god, I'm so fucking drippy! Fuck all that! Man, look, I'm just gonna break it down. Look, I'm just letting you know, you get two girls that age and a motherfucking thing together, giving ideas, one thinks they're prettier than another. What happens is the same.
So both Tech and Nerds had a collaborate. They both collaborate. So that's why I'm only using Nerds rather than Tech, because I don't want to just go and clip. Because Tech went on for 2 hours, and both their streams were happening at the same time in the same VC. So in my head, save on memory and time. Why record 2 hours? Like why get the first 2 hours of Nerds, right? Well, not Nerd, but why get the 2 hours from Tech Talk that was still happening on Nerd? Like it's in my head, it was just pragmatism at its finest. Don't. They went over some stuff related to Popstar. Pretty chill stream. Let's move on.
Throw that on me.
I don't have a dad in my life right now.
I don't have a reputation.
Shit up to.
Right, your mother. You said your mother. You said your mother in the DR.
One at a time, please. One at a time, please.
Why is Keemstar muted?
Someone server muted him.
What?
The fuck?
Server muted him?
Who server muted
Yeah.
him?
I don't know.
I don't know. I was trying to mute beans. Sorry, I did that.
You can't let me do that shit.
All right, don't.
I mean, you're not letting me speak because you keep interrupting me. You keep interrupting me.
If we want somebody muted, we'll fucking mute them.
Okay, my bad, Boogie. I got you. Can you just let me finish my piece though? My bad. I mean to.
No, because you'll go on for fucking ever, and now you're just spreading lies. So
I mean, but it's the truth. But this is the truth. I mean, you complain about you complain about Shy as well and whatnot. You say there's like, oh, he doesn't want kids, and you want.
What just happened to her?
Did you just kick her?
Do you want to air?
I'm not kicking her.
Means are you kicking her so she doesn't say something you don't want her to say? Is that what's happening right now?
she wants to be a dirty fucking whore and have her dirty fucking mouth and spread shit that doesn't concern her. So.
Supreme Leader Bread super chatted $20. Hey, I just got here. Why are the losers arguing? You both Sug, also fill me in, please.
Beans, what is this side server she was talking about?
It's not. I have a group of friends and they have a server and I am in that server and all we do is play video games and talk to each other. But because she got accused of going on Kick and streaming from this server, even though she was streaming from her own, she will grab anything to make other people look bad.
I do want to point out that that justification was exactly word for word what Zay said about her server. We just talk and play games. That literally.
Yeah.
Just pointing that out.
Where's Pubstar at?
Well, it's not mine. It's some friends of mine.
Can we get Pubstar back in here? What the fuck just happened? So wait, is it
Is she going to put on makeup and actually have her camera on? Is she going to do her job correctly, or is she going to half-ass shit like she's been doing for the past couple weeks?
Well, to be fair, you don't have your camera on either, but
yeah. But because you just said, "Are you willing to put on makeup and turn on your camera and do your job?" And I said yes, and she said no.
Okay. Well, this is awkward. Where is she?
I don't know.
Sorry to jump in.
She said in the main chat that someone keeps kicking her.
Yeah, that would be Beans.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure who was disconnecting me. I didn't want to like just join back. Are you already on my host role?
Real quick, before we continue,
Okay.
before we continue, no more muting each other, no more kicking each other. All right.
Okay.
What were you saying,
Okay.
Popstar?
Yeah, I was saying, I mean, people in the chat are saying that I'm like leaking private conversations. I mean, Beans tried to leak a conversation where I was upset about thumbnails having a bad day. I was like, I didn't feel
Okay,
like,
but being upset about thumbnail and you yelling at me that you want to kill yourself because you look fat is nothing compared to you trying to.
I don't want to kill myself because I look fat. I'm not
trying
fat.
to talk about a personal relationship that I have.
Beans, let me
You
finish
are
speaking.
digging,
Beans,
no,
this was the
digging
quote.
shit up. You are digging shit up to try to make yourself look good, but all you're.
Okay, so here we are. Originally, I was gonna put on Queen towards the end of this video, and I realized why, because not much happening in Queens besides Tina kind of complaining about Becky not being here. I really don't care too much about Queens because it's not a lot is happening. In a way, you can say that without Becky, Queens isn't really being held up well, and it's kind of showing that Tina isn't as entertaining. But I think what it is that Tina's more entertaining when she's in a more scripted video environment versus being in a live stream environment, which is two separate things. And even Mike couldn't understand that. But let's get back to live. Particularly with live, there were some issues going on with Wings. They talked about some of the Elon stuff a bit, some of the stuff that was going on with the LA stuff. Apparently later on, that I woke up to because the stream was still going on. But I thought by the time they were going to end, I fell asleep, woke up, and they were still streaming. So let's go through this step by step. First part was they went over a little bit of Becky stuff. Apparently that Becky wanted a whole week off, but she only took 4 days off, which is so weak. And apparently her relative that did die, this is keyword, wasn't even like that close of a relative. It was like somebody she didn't really knew. So it sounded like she used one of her relative death as an excuse to take a break. Which if that's the case, why didn't you just straight up tell Keem like, hey, there's a death in the family I gotta go to, and also I want to take some time off. Is that okay? I think Keem would have been perfectly fine. I think Keem would have been like, okay, if you want time off, just say something. And I think and the problem is Milkers, right, from a couple of days ago, everything's kind of, it's like poetry, it rhymes, like George Lucas would say. But my thing is that I think the problem is that because of that, because Becky said on Milker that like Roxy outing it was a very dumb move because they were trying to create a whole storyline, which is, again, like, just tell the truth and people will be more sympathetic and care about it. You should try to just tell the truth rather than trying to create this whole storyline. I think what it is that she was just tired with all the stuff that was going on and her doing basically now running 4-hour streams every single day. She could have just easily just said, like, I need a break. I need a break for a little bit so I can just recharge. That's what she could have easily have done. Rather than kind of, not really lying, but kind of faking people out with making people believe that the person that died was a close relative. In reality, it wasn't really a close relative. It was just somebody in her family that wasn't as close as she was trying to say. Which is actually really more sad. Right after that, it went into the whole situation with Wings. I guess Wings is sick. Now, with that being said, if he is sick, he should go check that out. But I think what it is Wings has accepted sort of a very nihilistic mindset, where I think he would prefer to fade into the darkness, if you know what I'm trying to refer to, rather than getting a check. And that's very grim dark. Okay, then after that, in this particular clip, they got into the whole pop star situation. And later on, not really in this clip, but later on, during this whole argument between Popstar, Beans, and later on Sweet Tea would come around, the three of them literally just left as they were fighting. And then later on, they would eventually pop into the doll VC, and they would be fighting, like, Popstar and Beans would be fighting like cats and dogs. Let's be real. If Keemstar wasn't the way he is, I think there would be a lot more people in their VC just kind of recording and watching the shit show that is emerging from this. Like, damn. Because there is a lot of drama that happened in the VCs and these. Like, I remember when I was so part of the LCL before it became, or during the time where it was becoming the LCU. I remember there was a lot of drama. I remember the John situation and his ex. Crazy time. Now, do I agree that this stuff is boring, or at least the way it's being approached is boring? I don't think it's necessarily boring. I just think what it is that the energy isn't there because it's a weekend, and I think they're just trying to save up as much as they can on Monday when this video is coming out. And that's all I have to say. This weekend streams were kind of weak. It was a very weak weekend streams. Their stream later on, they extended their stream. I believe it was like 9 hours, and they added an extra 2 hours. Okay, that's all. Have a good one, y'all. Have a good one. Be safe. God bless.